Thank you. That's how you know it's $30 because they put this little packaging on the little wrapper. First of the roll, baby. That was the first quick 2 shots, but the real goal here, like I mentioned before, is just to capture the blue hour type vibe. Wait for these lights to really start to shine under that blue hour, wait for the sun to go down a little bit more, but it's still gorgeous nonetheless. We'll see you in these video clips. There's no way the audio in this is good at all, but we're just gonna work with it. But we have this, it's starting to get closer to that hour that I was looking for, where these lights are really starting to pop and you can see it on people's faces. So I actually want to grab a quick little portrait of my beautiful camera woman here. So we're gonna try to highlight maybe a little bit of that red glow we're seeing right now. It looks really good. I missed it. So sad. Portrait setup right here. So the last shot we were trying to do is nice and red, but this one's be nice and blue. We got this nice blue pole right behind me, and then we had this ride giving off this a lot of blue light. So thinking that this could be a pretty cool, interesting image, just because this is also tungsten balanced, so it might push that blue even more. We'll see how it turns out.
There's name rings. That would be
$15 up, $15 down, all done here. Got me winding my camera. This is why I love the Bronica. It just is so nice, like having this manual motion of winding the film. Feels like I'm part of the experience, the photographic experience. But pretty hectic day at the CNE. It's like the third last day at the CNE, and it's so insanely hectic. But I think the vibes were overall good, and it's definitely worth coming at night. All the lights and the colors look so good. So as it's become tradition on this channel, just do a quick little recap. So I think I mentioned this before, but this was my first time shooting Cinestill 800T, which is crazy because this film stock is so popular and so many people shoot it for, have been shooting it for so long, and like it's some people's go-to film stock and that's kind of all they shoot. But I just never really gotten around to it. I always shoot kind of midday, later afternoon. So the 800 ISO kind of just put me off, but I've heard people saying they shoot it in broad daylight, they underexpose it, and it's still just as pretty. So the other thing that kind of turns me off from it is the price. It is pretty expensive film stock. Like that roll was 30 bucks and it's just 15 photos. So like $2 a photo, you got to make sure your shots count. So out of this roll of 15, there's about 6 keepers, and they're the ones that really captured my vision of what I wanted to kind of illustrate in these images. Once the sun is a little bit lower, you get the nice blue grading of the sky, and then the lights really start to pop and shine. And those are my favorites, so I can just run through them real quick for you and explain why each one of them is my favorite. First one I wanted to highlight was of the lady just buying, I was assuming was just some popcorn at the stands. But I just love the halation on the lights above her. They look so good. Everything's glowing. And I just love the kind of busyness of this image. You have obviously her waiting for her order. But like right perfectly behind that stack of buckets is you can see a guy, and then behind that guy you can see another worker behind him. And just the line of 3 people, the composition kind of works for me. And then also the kind of leading lines you get from, like I said, the lights above leads you kind of directly to the girl standing there. One of my favorite pictures. Just love the artificial lights of it. I just feel like it looks so good on Cinestill. So the next image I want to highlight was of the people on the gondola type thing. I don't really know what it is, but it's just a ski lift, not really a gondola because gondola is enclosed. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But my vision for that photo was I noticed the flags blowing in the wind, and with it being the CNE, the Canadian National Exhibition, I just thought it would be really cool to kind of capture those flags. And I just feel like flags blowing in the wind always make for pretty cool photos. But specifically, I wanted those flags to frame the people on their little ski lift, and it kind of worked. I had to crop this photo a little bit, but that's the great part about medium format. You have so much more resolution from the bigger negative size that you can kind of crop in after the fact and really compose the image that you wanted to. For the original crop, it was just a little bit wider, and it was a little bit too busy to kind of show that framing. But with the crop and everything edited in the end, I really like this image, and it kind of, I feel like my vision was thoroughly splayed out when I edited this image and seeing the final result. So this is another one that I'm really happy with. And then the final image that I want to highlight is a classic action shot. It's the one of the guy, it looks like he's pointing, but he was actually throwing a dart. I was trying to time it where you can still see the dart that he threw. I was just a little bit late, but still the framing, the action of the subject, and just the busyness of what's behind him in the background, like all of the lights, you can see all of the vendors and all the stalls kind of going back into the foreground. I just really love the way it turned out. And you know me, I love my action shots, and even though I missed the dart, it kind of just looks like he's pointing, and I've already mentioned before how much I love the pointing shots. So this one, just I think the foreground framing and the layers of it with the background, it just looks really good, and I'm really happy with how it came out. I do have one honorable mention. I usually keep my favorites to the top 3, but I just wanted to mention this one as well, just because I feel like it's such a classic like branding image for the CNE that they could use. And it's just of the Ferris wheel, and it has the CNE logo on there, and just all of the motion of the rides and all the lights really shining, and that tiny hint of like really dark blue in the sky. I just think it's really pretty, and I love the colors of this image overall. Just a little bit boring for it to make it to the top 3, but I just love still the
the type of image and how I kind of framed the Ferris wheel, the CNE, below the shadow of the tree in the foreground. I just really like that. So that's all I really have to say for this video. Pretty simple video, just the one roll. Like I said, it was my first time shooting Cinestill, so I didn't really want to overwhelm myself and the thoughts I had if I was shooting too many rolls of film. And also the CNE was just so insanely busy, so it would be kind of annoying to reload the camera or bring another camera with me. So just the one roll in this video today, but nonetheless, I'm a big fan of Cinestill. If I have more money, if I have the funds to shoot more Cinestill, I definitely will. But there are a lot of knockoffs or alternatives to Cinestill. One of the big ones that I've been looking into and shooting has been Reflex Lab. They have their own 500T and 400D, just like Cinestill 400D. So I'd love to make a little video comparing the two, just seeing the differences in the film stock. Maybe the 400D because there's a direct ISO and white balance comparison there. As always, if you have any thoughts on the film stock, if you have anything to say about Cinestill, feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can always message me on Instagram at whoiscameronrollins. This video was graded with Dehancer on Davinci Resolve, so if you like what you see, you can go to the Dehancer website, and at checkout, you can save yourself a little bit of money with my promo code CAM2024. But other than that, don't forget to like and subscribe, and peace out.